Welcome back, everyone. In the last lesson, we created our user service, so we now have a way to fetch and keep our favorites up to date. So now we need to add the logic to add a specific product as a favorite by clicking on the star button in a product cell. So let's take a look at how we will accomplish that. So here in our files, we have our products, VC right here, where we have our table view of our products. And then we have our product cell.swift, which handles the laying out of the UI for each product cell as it is dequeued. We need to do a couple things here. We need to check to see if the product being dequeued is a favorite, and if so, set the star image appropriately. We also need to make a delegate to inform the products view controller when and which product has been selected or deselected as a favorite. So we're going to start here in our product cell. And here in our configure cell, we are going to do a check to see if this product is a favorite. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if the product being configured is also a favorite. And we're going to do that by comparing this product with all of the products in our favorites array. And if it exists in that array, then it's a favorite. Okay, so we're going to say if user service dot favorites dot contains. So if the product that is being configured is inside of the favorites array, so I'm going to say product, then it is a favorite. But we're going to get an error here. It says argument type product does not conform to expected type equatable. So what we're doing here is we're basically saying we have this array of favorites, and then we have this one product, and I want you to go and see if one of these equals the other, but we aren't conforming to the protocol equatable, which allows us to do that. So we need to conform to equatable. So we're going to come to our product model here, and down here at the bottom, just going to create an extension for our product model, and we are going to conform to equatable. And what we can do here is we can say static func, and then you do two equal signs, and then you say LHS of type product. LHS stands for left-hand side, and then RHS of type product, and that stands for right-hand side. And then we're going to return a Boolean. Okay, so basically what we're saying here is given a left-hand side product and a right-hand side product, are these equal to each other based on a specific criteria? And what we're going to set as the criteria is whether or not the left-hand side dot ID is equal to the right-hand side dot ID. If the product that we are comparing to another product, if those IDs match, then we are saying that, yeah, these are the same products. And if you wanted to make sure that all of the properties matched for this to be equatable, then you could do something like this. You could say left-hand side dot ID and left-hand side dot name is equal to right-hand side dot name, etc. But for our case, I think that just checking the IDs is sufficient because those don't change. All right, very good. I'm going to save that, come back to our product cell.swift, and this error should go away now. And now we can say that our favorite button, which we have an outlet for, this is the star button, dot set image, and now we're going to change the image from an empty star to our full star. So I'm going to say UI image named, and this is going to be filled star for dot normal, else our favorite button dot set image UI image named is going to be empty star for control state dot normal. And actually we have some constants for images, so let's go ahead and put these over there. So I'm going to copy filled star, go to our constants.swift file, come up to our app images struct, and I'm going to say static let filled star equal filled star. Then we have the other one, static let empty star equal, and I just want to make sure I get that spelled right, empty star. Then go back to our constants and paste that there, save that, and then back to our product cell.swift file, we can swap these out. So I'm going to say app images dot filled star, and then same thing here, app images dot empty star. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and do our placeholder as well. I'm going to copy that, go to our constants, create another static let placeholder equal, and paste that as well. So now we have our 5 images that we're using so far, I believe. Back to our product cell.swift, and let's swap this out, app images dot placeholder. And I'm going to save that. And if we run this, we shouldn't see anything different. They should all still be empty stars because we don't have any favorites yet. So if I come into one of these, yep, all empty. So we need to make it so that when we click on one of these stars, something happens. All right, so we're going to do that by using the protocol delegate pattern here from our product cell. So I'm going to create a protocol right up here above the class called product cell delegate. Okay. And remember, with a protocol delegate method, you have one object that delegates actions to another object. Remember our example way back when we were talking about our boss and employee? The boss delegates things to the employee. And so what we're going to do here is, with that example in mind, the product cell is going to be the boss. And whenever we click on one of the, whenever we click on our favorite button, we are going to delegate or tell the view controller to do something. All right, so to do that, we create our protocol, then we create a function here inside. I'm going to say func product favorited, and we're going to pass into that a product of type product. All right, the next thing to do is create a delegate variable here in our product cell. So I'm going to say week var delegate of type product cell delegate. And we'll go ahead and make that optional. And we're going to get an error here. It's going to say week must not be applied to non-class bound. And so what we need to do is come up here to our protocol and do a colon and say class. And then that error will go away. All right, so what is this week keyword here? What we are doing here is we are saying that our connection between the view controller and this product cell is weak. And we're doing this to avoid any strong reference cycles, which would cause memory leaks and instances of our product cell or view controller that cannot be deallocated from memory. So now when the favorite button is clicked, we come down here with our IB action for it, and we say delegate dot product favorited, and then we need to pass in the product for this cell. And to do that, let's go ahead and create another variable here called product of type product, and we'll make that implicitly unwrapped. Let's go ahead and make this private. And when we configure the cell, we are going to set self.product equal to the product that is passed to this cell from the view controller. Self.product equals product. Now the last thing that we need is to be able to set the view controller as the delegate. So we need to pass the view controller as the delegate, but it's not a type view controller here. This is of type product cell delegate. So I'm going to save that, say self.delegate is equal to the delegate that is passed to the cell, which is the view controller. And to make that happen, we come here to our products vc.swift, and we have to conform to our product cell delegate. So now the view controller, products view controller, is saying, yes, I will be your delegate. Or for that to happen, we need to conform. So we're saying here that we need to conform to the protocol. All right. So we conform to it by implementing the functions defined in the protocol. So I'm going to cut that, and we're going to put that down here. How about under the setup query? And now when we configure our cell, you'll see here that we are missing an argument for parameter delegate. So I can say fix, and then here we say self. And now the process is complete. We configure the cell, pass the product and the delegate, which is self, and we're saying we are kind of committing to each cell as it is configured that yes, I will be the delegate for the product cell, and when someone clicks on that favorite button, you will let me know via this function right here, and I will do something about it. And what we want to have happen when we select one of our products is one, add it to our user service. Let me just pull that up. Where are you at? User service. So we're going to add it to our favorites array. And then we're also going to add it to the Firestore users subcollection of favorites. That's if it hasn't been favorited. If it is favorited and we deselect it, then we remove it from our favorites array and also delete it from the users subcollection favorites. All right, so here in the user service, let's go ahead and create a function to handle all of that. I'm going to say func favorite selected, and we're going to pass into it a product, type product, and we need to create a collection reference to our favorites collection. So I'm going to say let favs ref equal, and then we have firestore.firestore.collection, and we're going to start at the users. Then we go down to the specific users document, and we get that by saying user.id. And then the sub collection is favorites. And now we need to determine whether the product that has been selected is already a favorite, in which case we unfavorite it, or is not a favorite, in which case we add it as a favorite. So we're going to say if favorites.contains product, in which case we remove it as a favorite, else we add as a favorite. All right, so to remove it, we're going to remove it from our local array of favorites. And the way we can do that is by saying favorites.remove all with a given predicate, okay? And the predicate that we are going to use is that any product in the favorites that is equal to the product that has been selected will be removed. And then we need to delete from the favorites collection this product. So I'm going to say favsref.document. So we find this product's document, product.id, and we say .delete. And that will delete this product from the user's favorites subcollection. All right, so that is how we remove a favorite. Now let's add a favorite. Again, first we are going to add it to our local collection. I'm going to say favorites.append, and we are going to append this product. Then we are going to add it as a new document to our sub collection. So I'm going to say let data equal product dot model to data. So we get the data so that we can upload it. And we're going to convert this product into data. And then we're going to say favs ref dot document. And we are going to create a new document with the ID being equal to the product's ID. And then we are going to say set data, and we are going to pass in the product's document data. All right, let's see how this goes. Let's come back to our products vc.swift. And here we call product favorited. We say user service dot favorite selected, and we pass in the product. And then we also want to reload the table view data for that row. And we can get the index corresponding to this product by saying guard let index equal products dot first index of, and then we pass in the product, else return. And basically what this is doing is taking this product and it's going through our products array until it finds one that matches, and then it returns that index. And then from there we can say table view dot reload rows at, and we can initialize an index path with row being that of index and section being 0, and then with a dot automatic row animation. I'm gonna save that and run it, and I believe that should be, oh, looks like we got something wrong somewhere. Oh, forgot to set this product right here. So this is back inside our product cell.swift file. Under favorite clicked, we need to set the product. All right, let's try that again. All right, here we go. Let's go into one of our categories that has products. And I'm gonna open up our database as well and squish this over, move this over here. And what we should see is when we star one of these, we should see it stay starred. There we go. And then if I refresh over here, we should see a new sub-collection for this user called favorites that does indeed contain our silverback gorilla here. Very good. All right, let's try unstarring it, and we should see this disappear. So unstar, and there it goes. Awesome. So I'm going to star a couple more, and we should see them get added in. Yes, very good. How cool is that? All right, so we were able to now add and remove favorites for individual users. Now the last thing to do is make it so that when we click on our star here, we only display favorites. All right, so let's work on that real quick. So how we're gonna do this is we are still going to segue. Let me bring back up the simulator. We're still going to segue to the same products view controller. However, we are going to set a variable so that we know we are in favorites mode. And if we're in favorites mode, then we are going to change the collection reference from the category to the user's favorites sub-collection. And instead of showing the products for a specific category, we are going to be showing the products that are in the favorites collection. All right, so to do that, we need to come into our storyboard, and we need to create a new segue from our home view controller to our products view controller. I'm gonna say show. And we want to, it's kind of hard to tell, we have two here now. Make sure you get this one right here that doesn't have the two products VC. All right, and we are going to add an identifier. I'm gonna say to favorites. I'm gonna copy this right away, go into our constants file, find our segues, and add that right away. So I'm gonna say static let to favorites is equal to favorites. I'm gonna save that, and then let's come back into our home VC. And now when we have our prepare for segue, let's see, where is that? We are going to do a check for else if segue.identifier is equal to segues.toFavorites. So if this is the case, then we are still going to say if let destination is equal to segue.destination as products VC. And we are still going to set the destination.category equal to selected category, but in addition, we are going to set another variable so that we know we are in favorites mode. So I'm gonna save this, come over to our products VC, and at the top here, I'm gonna add a new variable called show favorites. And this is going to be default to false. But if we are coming over here from the star on home VC, then we are going to say destination dot show favorites is equal to true. Okay, so now in our products view controller, we can make some decisions based on whether or not this show favorites is true or false. And like I said earlier, the thing that is going to change is which collection the listener is looking at. So here in our setup query, what we're going to do is create a variable called ref. This is going to be of type query. And if show favorites is true, or in other words, we want to be looking at the subcollection of this user's favorites, then we are going to set one reference. If or else, we will set a different one. So if we are not in favorites mode, then we can keep the same reference that we had before. So I can say ref is equal to, and this right here is the one that we had before. So I'm just going to cut it and paste it here, and then put ref here. However, if it's the favorites that we are looking for, we need to create a new ref. I'm going to say ref is equal to, and what we want to do is say db.collection, and we are going to our users collection, then the document for this individual user, which is user service.user.id, and then go into its favorites collection. And then we will be pulling products from there. And that should be all we need to do. So I'm going to save this and run it, and let's check it out. All right, so I'm going to click on Animal Kingdom, and here we have our animals. We have 3 that are starred. So what we should expect to see when I click here is those same 3, just those 3. And nothing is happening because I realized we forgot to perform the segue. So let's go ahead and find our IB action for our star button if we have one. And that's going to be in the home vc.swift. And it looks like we do not have an IB action for our favorites button. So let's go ahead and fix that. I'm going to go ahead and hold Option and click on our main.storyboard. And then find our star button right here. And I'm going to close our panes to give us some more room. And here right above log in out clicked, I'm going to hold Control and drag and say favorites clicked and say connect. I'm going to open up our left and right panels, go back to our standard editor, and here in our home vc.swift, I'm going to say perform segue with identifier, and our identifier is segues.toFavorites, and the sender is self. All right, let's try that. I'm going to run it. And again, let's check our animals. Yep, we still got those 3. I'm going to uncheck one of these. Come back to Artable, click on our star, and this time, there we go. We only see our favorites. Let's select a favorite from one of our other ones here. Let's select these 2. And now we should see 4 favorites from our different categories. Very, very cool. All right, so that is all working beautifully. So I know this lesson ran a little bit long, so let's cut this one off here, and I'll see you in the next one.